Hello everyone, welcome back, welcome to our fortnightly video of everything that's been going on in the English Pokemon TCG. We're going to have a roundup of all of the news and releases from the past 2 weeks, so let's jump right into it. First off, biggest thing, we of course had the Destined Rivals pre-releases and the start of the official release. Now, of course, at the pre-release events, in addition to the 4 promos we knew about, we've also seen some exclusive non-foil cards. The ones I can confirm at the moment are non-foils of Misty's Gyarados, Team Rocket's Tyranitar, and Ethan's Typhlosion. I haven't been able to open all 4 decks yet myself, so if any others do show up, I will definitely update that, but those 3 are definitely confirmed so far. There have also been quite a few misprinted copies of cards showing up, where cards are kind of double printed. You know, this comes when you're not cleaning off the printing plates properly between printings. So we're seeing a lot of Fire Energies with an outline of Cyndaquil on them, and some other cards with, you know, outlines of other cards on. There's a quite famous misprint in Magic the Gathering known as the Charlie Brown misprints, where you can actually see characters from the Peanuts cartoons on the Magic cards, and this is a similar kind of thing to that. It seems these are fairly widespread, so there are going to be a lot of copies of these out there if this is something that takes your fancy. There are, of course, also staff promos that went out. Not all of the stores have received their staff promos yet, and the 2 stores in our area that Law works at and runs events for haven't received theirs yet, so I can't 100% confirm if they are stamped or if they're raised lettering, or if there's a mix of both. Still waiting on ours arriving, and then we'll be looking into that a little bit more, and we'll have an update on that again pretty soon. And then, of course, as of Monday, the main set did start to release in stores that ran pre-releases. The main release date for, you know, big box stores and any game stores that didn't run pre-releases is going to be this Friday. But we, of course, have had booster boxes, we've had the ETBs, we've had the 3-pack blisters, the single-pack blisters, and I've heard some reports of stores getting the check lane blisters as well, but haven't actually seen that confirmed yet. Those might be still a Friday release. Couple of non-Destined Rivals products in the last couple of weeks. There was a product that should have been out a while ago and got delayed and is now released, and a product that should have been released but has been delayed. So the delayed product, the 2024 World Championship decks have finally started arriving in stores. Now there's a few changes compared to previous World Championship decks. For a start, the cards no longer all feature the silver borders, they feature yellow borders if the card itself was originally in the yellow border, which is strange to me because obviously up until now they did all feature silver borders, and then going forward they're all going to feature silver borders because all cards legal and standard will now have silver borders because of the rotation. So they just changed it for this 1 year. So this year's World Championship decks are going to stand out weirdly amongst all the others. Not a fan of this change compared to some of the others. Another change was that the cards no longer have any sort of regulation marks or set numbering or anything, and instead do just say on the card that they are not tournament legal, which I think is a good change because it takes away some of that confusion that some newer players would have had around, you know, why they can't play certain copies. And the last change that they've made is that some of the face cards in the decks now have the player's signature in a raised gold lettering, like we've talked about with the staff stamps and stuff in the past. It's only a couple of cards in the deck that have that, which I don't know if that would make the deck kind of marked. You know, if you were trying to play these Worlds decks against each other, would it create a thickness issue with the sleeve? Would you be able to tell if you had that card coming next? I don't actually know, because I haven't played these decks, but it maybe indicates that they are shifting the priorities of this deck, and they are viewing it way more as a collectible, as a commemorative thing of Worlds, rather than actually being a testing deck or something like that they would market to players. As I know they have in the past, they've tried to market these as something where you could learn to play, you know, from the best, play the best decks and see how the pros do it. But that did end up being a super small part of the market. It was either people who just really loved a Worlds format, so were keeping these decks for that specific format, or it was collectors who just have to have everything, or they want every printing of their favourite Pokemon, you know, something like that. And the product that was supposed to be released, the Steven and Marnie Rivals Battle decks, seem to have been delayed in the majority of the world. There are some regions that have got these in stock, but I know at least the US and I believe most of Europe, these aren't showing up anywhere in stores yet. No stores have had deliveries. I'm hearing some rumors that potentially some places in Latin America have these, but it looks like we're going to have a bit of a delay before these start making their widespread release that they should have had. One card which had technically already been released but now has a much more widespread release is the Iris' Fighting Spirit Regionals promo. So we talked previously about how the only English release of that card so far had been at the Stockholm Regionals, so a much lower printing than if it had a wide release, and of course most copies located in Europe currently. Well, last weekend, Portland Regionals did get the Iris' Fighting Spirit as their promo, so both regular ones and staff versions are going to have a much more widespread availability going forward. And then, of course, we have a bunch of announced products and announced promos that will be coming out in the future. First, we have the in-store promos for Destined Rivals, the GameStop and the Best Buy promos. So the GameStop promo is going to be Team Rocket Zapdos, see it there with the GameStop logo on it, and the Best Buy will be Team Rocket's Articuno with the Destined Rivals logo. As usual, the GameStop is most likely also going to have an EB Games version in Australia and New Zealand, and then a set logo version in Europe and potentially in Asia as well. We'll update that, of course, once we know for definite, but based on a lot of recent sets, that is almost certainly going to happen. Another set of upcoming promos, we have some League promos announced for June and July, following the trend of the last couple of years. After NAIC, tournaments pretty much stop because players don't have any more chances to earn championship points. You know, they're locking in who's qualified for Worlds, so they need to do something else to give us a bit of an incentive to go along to leagues in those months. This time around, the three promos are going to be Dracloak from Twilight Masquerade, Glass Trumpet from Stellar Crown, and Colress's Tenacity from Shrouded Fable. These will most likely be in a flat reverse holo style with the Play Pokemon logo in the background. We've seen the Play Pokemon logo, we haven't seen obviously the reverse holo yet until they start going out to leagues, but I would think they're going to match the previous couple of years. And then finally we have a new premium collection announced. This is a Venusaur EX and Blastoise EX premium collection. It's going to feature 10 booster packs. It's going to feature Venusaur EX and Blastoise EX from Stellar Crown, now with the Stellar Crown logo on the card and a jumbo version of the Venusaur. This is pretty similar to the Ogerpon Premium Collection we saw announced recently also, and like that one, I'm pretty mediocre on this product, you know. I like that at least the EXs are getting something different about them. I know we saw Premium Collections in the past where they would feature 4 or 5 EXs in amongst a load of packs, and those EXs actually had nothing exclusive about them. I mean, that bit was good for me because I didn't have to go out and buy them or worry about them at all, but it kind of sucked for the kind of people who did want to buy that product and get those packs that they weren't even getting exclusive promos. And according to the GameStop website, this one is going to release on the 9th of August. Alright, well that is it. That's everything that's happened in the English Pokemon TCG over the last 2 weeks. I'll see you again in 2 more weeks' time for another update. If you do think I missed anything or you need clarification on anything, be sure to leave me a comment and I'll get back to you or put it in a future video. Coffee Talk's hopefully back in the next day or two, depending on how David's feeling, and some other interesting videos coming up soon as well, including some Destined Rivals openings most likely. But that's it from me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who chooses to support the DJ Gigabyte channel on Patreon. Join us to help out and get a look behind the scenes.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!